today. Here we have one more actually testimonial video, but this one actually will be the, I believe, the best one. Or I can tell that actually you will watch one more video from Diego. It's a very special one too. He actually tries his best to learn as well. I can tell that actually Pavel is someone like that as well, and if he agrees, we will be sharing a document that he actually created, and it is the most beautiful thing that I have ever seen after my future wife. And at the same time, I am telling it because she's very close here. And at the same time, I believe today Pavel will be explaining actually his special journey for watching all the case studies or reading Google patterns and research papers and to understand the search engines in a better way. And I can tell that actually he is a direct evidence of search engine optimization is not just about actual search engine optimization or ranking the websites. You will be able to actually think in a way much more clear way. And if you are able to actually just complete these case study sequences, you will be able to actually increase your capacity for living in a more disciplined way, and you will be able to actually focus in your life with more meaningful and clear thinking or thought streams. And I believe that he is a direct evidence for that, and I am really lucky to actually meet with him. And in a few months ago, he came to Istanbul. He wanted to meet. I believe it was a coincidence because usually I don't check the DMs that much, and we were lucky. And then we have eaten 90 different kebabs together while chatting, and we had our own kebab babies. And he also explained actually how he met with my videos or other things, and from there actually you can explain the situation. I already talked too much.
Yeah, definitely.
How did you start?
So before I start, I want to say I feel more lucky to meet with you. I think that would be much fair to say.
Thank you.
And yeah, so the way I stumbled onto your videos and everything related to semantic is a bit of a silly story because I wanted to kind of create some sort of a community around SEO. Therefore, I started an SEO YouTube channel. And I made a couple of videos, and then through the vidIQ, a recommendation came up that I should make a video for what is semantic SEO. So just knowing this kind of culture of SEO is we come up with new random terms that don't mean anything new, but they just sound interesting or different.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's just gonna be another one of these made up terms. So I started making a video about semantic SEO without doing the research. So yeah, I'm writing a script. It was, I think, 30-40% finished. Then I was like, wait, what is actually semantic SEO? Let me check real quick. So then I just wanted to see what other people say on YouTube regarding this. And then I find one video and it talks exactly about these things, like, oh, it's on site, some things, you just plan some content, do some internal linking, things like that. I'm like, okay, so that's kind of my idea about this thing. I find another video similar to that. And then I find interview with Koray. I don't remember who else was there.
Maybe Matt?
No, it wasn't Matt, but
Someone else.
it was like a kind of like smaller channel type of thing, like webcam type of.
I don't know.
I can find actually.
Okay.
I can show you later. But basically, then I'm watching this interview and I understand like 5% of the things that Koray is saying, and I am like a little bit confused. At the same time, I'm thinking he's either joking, like just trolling. It's just like you know, completely like it's a whole, like it's a fun thing, or he knows something entirely different, like something that's completely is my blind spot. This is why it's caught my attention, and I watched basically literally all the interviews that I could find with you where you talk about semantic SEO, how it works, things like that. And that's where, you know, from the second, third video and so on and so forth, I realized it's not a prank. There is actually like a real thing. So on top of that, you share the case studies, and I'm connecting the dots. Obviously, there is more to it. I'm realizing there is a lot more to the SEO process, specifically not known in the mainstream world or
Yeah.
what everyone is used to talking about. So basically from the second or third video, I got really fascinated with what is it that you're trying to do or say or share, like what is going on. And another, I think, just a credit to you, is that every single your appearance anywhere, actually even in places where other people just mention your name, at least from the things that I've seen, it's always very authentic and genuine, which is another kind of massive giveaway for me, because kind of in the 2022 and 2023, people just want to sell their own like idea, course, brand, whatever. And so that's where the whole mainstream SEO comes from. It's just everyone's selling the same thing over and over. So yeah, this is why this felt special and different and interesting. And that's how it all started for me.
Yeah,
So
it's a really good story actually, and it's also similar to my own story as well, because I started to learn SEO while I was in gym. One of my friends told me that there is something called SEO. I thought that it is a drug to sell, not even a drink. And then I thought that maybe I can do it. Then I just searched it, and I have seen that it's completely different, and I started to learn. And I can also add a few more things to this fascinating story, to be honest, because it might be a criticism for the industry, but I believe there are 3 or 4 fundamental problems in the search engine optimization industry. One of them is that we don't credit people who actually create the real information. We just try to actually label it in our own ways, and we try to just take the ownership of the concepts. In my situation, it didn't happen because they don't get it easily. So it's not something that they can actually steal directly. When they tell topical authority, they even don't know what it is. When they tell actual topical maps, they even don't know what it is. So even if they try to sell it, even if they try to steal it, they will fail. So this is one of the reasons that actually they had to mention my name in these places. And second criticism in this area, it might be for the SEO influencers. Most of the time, the influencers, they want to be friends with the Googlers so that they can shake the Googler's hand and Googlers can shake the hand back, and then they can go to the stage. Because if you have a pause with a Googler like this, many events actually will be inviting you. Even if you don't do SEO, even if you actually distribute the same slides in 12 different events. And this is actually one of the real problems, because in our industry we don't follow the real SEOs like you actually, unfortunately. And I'm trying to change this, because in our community I will be promoting many successful people that learn these things and that tries their best, even if they don't have a picture with John Miller. And another issue in the industry is that something that I actually call Google triangle. Maybe we can explain it quickly if you don't have an issue. So basically, influencers go to the Googler. Googler has an agreement with them, and I have seen these type of situations, to be honest. When I invite someone to some of our events, a few really famous SEOs, they just told that even they are not SEOs, to be honest, they are just agents owners. They just say that actually if I go there and if this company sells links, I can't be friends with John Miller anymore, let's say, and they are scared for this type of things. And because of this situation, I can tell that Googlers or Google Search Relation Team, they try to control the SEOs by friends with unofficial ambassadors. So when you actually follow the mainstream SEO, you don't learn SEO. You just actually read the same thing with different concepts, with the same shell of content. And at the end of the day, it creates just repetition. And this harms SEOs, because when Google actually does an update, you might start to lose your clients. You might actually start to lose your happiness, your wealth, and it might actually harm your relationship with your spouse or with your child. And I have seen many bad situations like this. And the reason that actually I published all these case studies, it was actually just for helping people. And I have seen many times in my career too, for instance, in Medic Update, I lost 3,000 websites. I was managing a PBN. And we have spent really good amount of money to correct the algorithm. And I know how bad it can be. So I also know that many people they sit in front of a laptop and they try to actually be free, and they try to get their financial freedom. So in this case, I can tell that if our purpose would be just making money, I will publishing this course 1 year ago directly, because to be honest, you will all buy it, even if I don't want it. So in this case, I would suggest you to focus on this part. You don't have to think that SEO is luck. SEO is actually a science. You can prove things. It's not random. There is a system and there is an engineering principles there. You don't have to feel that you are losing the grip on algorithm. You can actually understand the algorithm, even if it is in the future AI search. And what do you think about this?
I want to add, maybe take a few steps back and just
Okay.
add regarding the problems in the SEO industry. I think there is a major issue with ego of even beginners that just get into it, and immediately there is this very weird like desire to be above someone else, almost in a like suppressing way. And obviously a person that has at least a little bit of success with PBMs or anything else,
Yeah.
immediately they feel literally like they would crown themselves, feel like a king, look down on everyone and everything, and this creates a very unhealthy environment overall, because
Toxic.
yeah, it's just like any interaction with this person leads to poisoning all other people. They keep start acting the same way, so it's all kind of like a weird environment actually in the end.
Yeah.
And another thing is I think a lot of SEOs are kind of based on fear.
Fear, and also they lose clients while they are trying to actually implement the same thing just because an influencer told them to do these things, and then they get harmed. And whenever I see someone like that, I just feel a responsibility. I don't know, and I try to show them in a different way, even if they don't like reading that much. But I believe in this case you are an exact proof that actually the methodologies work, and if they just read, they can actually get the system and understand the things.
Yeah, definitely. One more point regarding the fear. Yeah, basically, it all kind of connects in a weird way to a person's reputation, hope to make the money, and I guess like if they're connected to Google in some shape or form, and they have a relationship, it all syncs together. You have an ego because Google says they like you. Maybe you cannot provide a good service, which is insane. But as long as someone above increases your reputation, you're good with making money. So it's all very kind of like unstable, shaky,
And also corrupted.
just not a healthy environment overall. Which is why, again, finding a perspective like yours towards a search engine, let's say just for, I guess, random reasons, even if you're biased,
Yeah.
it's still 1 trillion times better than what's just kind of accepted easily by the like mainstream SEO ideas and ideologies and all these things.
Okay.
So this is my take on these things.
Okay. And before the ending, actually, we can also explain your progress and also the process. For instance, you went to Malta and you watched the videos, you have read the patterns for 16 hours a day.
Sure.
And you also have taken notes for every word in the videos. Whenever I explain a concept, you have actually extracted the transcribe.
Let me explain that.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, I guess I'll present it or I'll explain it from a position of maybe like a suggestion, because I believe just watching your videos, it is not gonna be useful or helpful, because everything is gonna sound very foreign and very different, and there are some ideas or words that you will hear that you already know, but you will not be able to connect this to the new idea or the new concept and things like that. So just watching the videos is kind of, think of it as an introduction or a mini form of an entertainment. The real practical advice and guidance and tutorials and actual steps that you can take, they're coming from reading and from thoroughly understanding the whole point. I have to say that before meeting you, I think I have been already watching the videos for about 6 or 7 months. I've seen all of them, I read some of the posts, but it's still vague, like it's unclear. There are these cool terms, like topical authority,
Yeah.
but what does it mean? Right? There is entity, there is a book said entity-oriented search,
Yes.
and I actually read that book, but what does it mean?
Yeah.
Like everything is so disconnected. So that's the point. Reality is all of the videos are very strongly connected, and they're, I don't want to say easy to understand, but I believe anyone can understand them. If I could understand them, I think anyone can understand them. That's how I think about the world. But it takes time, and what I have done, for example, maybe you can show the screenshot later.
Yeah, maybe even while we are talking, we can even put that thing. It was fascinating. I can really tell that.
So basically, this is what I would, let's say, recommend. Start from the first video on his channel and listen to it on like play the video on a slower speed and try to listen to every single word. Once you hear a word that you don't know what it means, try to find the definition of that either in like the video somewhere later on, maybe in another video, maybe on his website or on Bill Slavsky's website. And this will be like mini pieces of a puzzle that will help you understand, you know, phrases and then sentences and then the whole points and then whole concepts. It's all the reason why I love SEO, all of this common sense. So this is why I want to say it's not difficult, but it's complex and it takes patience, and it is, yeah, well, with that perspective, we can also say nothing is difficult. It's just everything is extremely complex.
And also, you have read all these things 16 hours a day for 1 month while working and while with that discipline. And I believe you also felt that it actually helped you to think in a more clear, structured, and disciplined way for everything, because patterns help people in that way.
Yeah, definitely. And also, let me give you a bit of pre context here. One of the first times when I was watching videos and you start to mention patterns, and it's like, oh guys, check out this pattern, this pattern, this pattern, this pattern, and it goes for like 40 minutes. I'm like, all right, cool, not gonna do it. But once I started to go through everything thoroughly, patterns are actually incredibly helpful to see more, to see like where you're coming from.
Yes.
Like the reason for why this is important, or the reason for why we're gonna like, do this thing. And I think patterns are obviously the key. Like we have to deal with Google and their inventions and how they work, and the patterns explain all of these concepts. So ignoring that is definitely a big mistake.
I also really don't get that when people actually they focus on the search engine relations team. They are not even engineers. You should focus on engineers and inventors, not the spokesperson, not to the actual public relations team. No one cares about actually what Google publishes on their YouTube channel. They won't be giving you what they are doing actually there. Anyway, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, it's functionality. You're looking for a system, how the machine works, how the whole process works. It comes from patterns. So yeah, I have to say that it takes time to get used to understanding patterns and kind of seeing how they're laid out, how the things work there. It might be a little bit intimidating, but again, it's just a matter of time, experience, a bit of persistence. And then from there you get a full clarity, and then as you said, I think just an extra bonus outside of SEO, it increases just the clarity of thinking. That's
It's about semantics, because I always tell people that don't learn semantic SEO for ranking websites. It's about actually how we think and how we should be actually thinking at the same time, because it will be helping you to actually increase your efficiency for thinking in a better way. And at the same time, once you are able to actually create your thoughts by using evidences and by using actually counter tools, and you will be able to actually relate anything to anything by just understanding the context. You will be able to write even better essays, and some other people might sound even dumber than usual if you learn semantics in a really good way, I can tell. Because when you learn the semantics, you don't need that fluff. You just remove the fluff from your brain. You just focus on the thought, the essence, and the result. That's only the thing that actually matter as well. And I believe, Pavel, you already finished the course without watching that. I can tell that because I actually have given everything in these free videos. And also they are important because there, if you go to the Google patterns, there are 40,000 there, and you won't be able to find where to start. But if you follow the videos, you will see that all of them are actually structuring and constructing actually a roadmap for you, and every mention of a specific research paper, patent, case study, or mention of concept or engineer, they're actually all ordered. And to be honest, after the course, probably I won't be publishing that much. I am 30, so I just need to rest a little bit. And maybe you can do it in the future.
Yeah, I would love to. Definitely.
Okay then. So do you want to say something else?
I want to maybe add that semantic SEO might feel very intimidating, especially if you're a beginner, because realistically the case, I see this on feedback, for example, advanced level SEOs with 10 years of experience stumble onto semantic, proper semantic concepts, they get lost immediately. So everyone can feel like that. Don't feel intimidated by that. It's all solvable. It just takes time. And another thing I want to say is, you just mentioned that, but the whole, all of these free videos, which is roughly, there's 16 steps there right now. That's the course. The mentality of I haven't seen the course, but if I assume it's not gonna be download this secret tool, click the secret button, rank number one.
There is no hack, there is no tips, there is no quick shortcuts.
It's not possible. So that's the point. Maybe for people that will watch this, if they, let's say, cannot afford the course or something like that, the videos are free, the patterns are free. The course is out there already for free. So it's an insane gift from this guy that just came down from heavens, figured things out, and it's anyway, well, here's the thing.
Once we had this talk, actually, as I said before too, I suffered from these fake influencers and lies of many other Google spokespersons, and I didn't want others to feel the same. That's why I always feel that instinct to share. But as I say, after the course launch, I believe this community will be able to feed and handle themselves. Even if I write, probably it will be more right. Okay.
Yeah, awesome.
So thank you, my friend.
Thank you very much.